guys, my name is Macy Burkett, and my dad Mike and I have a true crime historical podcast together called Cocktails of Crime and Fashion. So we are just about to start recording for season 3 tomorrow. And this season we are going to do something fun, and we are going to make our YouTube debut. So not only can you listen to us wherever you get your podcasts, but now you can watch us record and listen on YouTube. Something else I thought would be fun to do with this whole YouTube journey is vlog how we prep for our podcast episodes. My dad and I do not live together, so I can't show you his total preparation. However, I can show you mine. So the outline of our show is my dad does a 20-minute scripted story, and he has the best reading voice. He is the real star of our show. He's the beauty on brains. So, just kidding. So he usually writes his script, and he prepares a cocktail recipe for us. And on my part, I write the fashion segment of the show, and I write the discussion points for the discussion section. So tonight, first I'm gonna go for a quick run and walk my dog because he doesn't move much, so I have to walk him. And then I'm going to sit down and start researching and writing. I've already done some preliminary research on our case. So when I get back from my run, I will talk to you about what case we're covering, and we will start working on our fashion section and the discussion section. See you guys soon. Bye. Hello everyone, I am back. I went for a run. I ate some dinner, and I watched Below Deck, and I had a voice lesson, and now it's finally time to sit down and write my script for tomorrow's recording. So I wanted to run through everything with you that I do to get started, and like how I do my research, just so you can get a behind the scenes look. So here we go. Okay, so the case we're doing is Deborah Green, and the first thing that I do is I take an outline from a previous episode, and I just copy it and then paste it into a new document, and then I have a clean slate for an outlet. This stuff is standard for every episode. Here's my animals, 2 of them anyway. Back to the novice cute stuff. So this week we're doing Deborah Green, and she was a woman who is from very close to home. Oh my gosh, my animals are so loud. Deborah Green is from Prairie Village, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City. It's very close to where my dad and I record. It's very close to where I'm from and pretty close to where I live now. And it's a very affluent suburb of Kansas City. So she was a doctor, and you'll hear more about this on the episode, but long story short, she tried to poison her husband, and she lit her house on fire, and 2 of her children died. Yeah, no joke. So that's what we're going to talk about this week. Earlier today, I watched a couple videos about the case. I always do that just to get a basis of what I'm researching. There's also a Lifetime movie about this case, and I really tried to watch it. I really tried. It was just so bad. The acting, I can't watch that for an hour and a half. I mean, it wasn't as bad as a lot of Lifetime movies, but it was not great. So the Lifetime movie, in case you want to watch it, it's called A House on Fire, I believe, and it's based off of a book by Anne Rule that's about this case. So anyway, I always do like a video so that I can do other things while I listen or watch, or a podcast episode. So I did get a basis of the case. I also will sometimes read a Wikipedia page if I can't find any videos out there. So that just gives me the foundation. Then I decide what I want to cover for the fashion piece. So in every episode, I talk about fashion that was in vogue at the time of the crime, or fashion that has to do with the crime. I think because Deborah was a doctor, I'm going to do the history of like medical attire or something. like scrubs, lab coats. I don't know, we'll see. And then for the discussion, I'll definitely cover like info about Prairie Village, probably info about KU Med because she's a KU alum, got her MD from KU, which is where I work, and I live where KU is, so we're a KU fam, we love KU, so we got to talk about it. That's all I got so far. So I'm gonna do a time lapse of me working away on this outline. Here we go. I'm almost done writing my script for the fashion portion. I'm really focusing on the history of scrubs. I'm gonna try this season to like choose one thing from a case fashion-wise to really do a deep dive on instead of doing the decades, because I've pretty much covered the fashion on every decade by now, and that's getting boring. So we're trying a new approach. And then I'm going to write the rest of my script. And then this is like really wanting me to watch Dr. Death on Peacock. Highly recommend if you haven't watched it. The only bad thing is you have to upgrade. You have to start paying for Peacock after episode 3. It's only $5 a month though, so sure, add on another streaming service. Why not? I only have like 50 now. Anyway, I'm gonna watch Dr. Death after I finish my script because this is just making me want to watch it. Learn about scrubs and doctors, you know? And then tomorrow, I'll be with my dad, and we're gonna do behind the scenes of recording setup and how we set up for our cocktail video as well. And we will also do the recording of the actual podcast. And that's gonna be a whole separate video. This vlog style video will be one, and then the actual podcast will be another. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And thanks for coming behind the scenes with me so far. Bye. Hey guys, so I'm here at my parents' house and we're about to set up for our recording. And something we have to do before any time we record is put all the dogs in the kennel so they don't bark and disrupt everything. So let's go find the dogs and put them in the kennel. Okay, I was able to get 2 dogs in the kennel. I think Gunny will be okay. I don't think he's gonna bark. So now I'm gonna set you guys down and I'm going to set up the recording table so you can see what all goes into recording an episode. As you can see, I have both mics all set up and plugged in, and we're ready to go into GarageBand. Success! I have done it. I've got all the mics set up. So now all I have to do is hit record. Well, first I silence these and then I hit record. And now you see my voice and my mic, and then if my dad were sitting over there, you would see his. So now we're actually going to record the podcast, and the link to that video will be in the description. And in just a second, I'm going to show you the cocktail portion of our episode. So see you in a second. Here he is, the star of our show.
Hello.
See, he really, truly is the beauty of the group. See how I did all the manual labor?
That's right.
Oh, Jesus.
She did all the manual labor, and she doesn't even get paid extra for it.
I get paid squat. That's all right. We do this for fun, right, Dad?
We do.
We are back, and we're done recording. And now my dad is just prepping for the cocktail, to make the cocktail for you guys.
So
Where's your hat? He can't be seen without his hat. Huh.
There we go.
All is right in the world.
Okay. Yeah, let me talk about these ingredients for a minute. This is peach puree, and all I did, I got about 8 or 9 peaches, put them in boiling water for about 60 seconds, and then put them in an ice bath. I did that just so I could peel it. I got the peel off, and took the pit out, put them in a blender, and just pureed them until they're smooth. This is Demerara simple syrup. Instead of white sugar like simple syrup usually is, I'm using this, which is a darker, it's not brown sugar, but you can see it's kind of crystallized, very intense, kind of a molassesy flavor, so it's going to give a nice sweetness to the drink. And peach schnapps, and Jack Daniel's Single Reserve Tennessee whiskey. If you're making something from Memphis, Tennessee, you need to use a good Tennessee whiskey. Now, if you don't have one and you'd like to duplicate this, you know I love rye whiskey, but for something like this, I'd go with a bourbon like Maker's Mark or Weller's. Rye is going to add a little bit too much spice, which is, I think, going to conflict with the sweetness of the peaches. So, use a good wheat-based or corn-based bourbon. And my secret ingredient, this was courtesy of my best friend Dave Mueller. When he went to Memphis, he watched him make it, and you garnish it with cherries. But he watched them pour in about a teaspoon of the actual juice from the maraschino cherries. So I've started doing that. That gives a nice pink color to the drink, and also just a little bit of extra sweetness. So those are the ingredients, and let me get a couple of spherical ice cubes ready, and we'll go ahead and make it. But as you know, we always like to use one large cube in any of our cocktails.
I know why.
Tell us.
Because if you use a bunch of small ice cubes, they'll melt and water down your drink. But the big one takes longer and it won't water down your drink, right?
Correct. All right,
I'm genius.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Okay, here we go. I have a shaker full of ice, and I'm going to make a double recipe since Macy and I both want one of these delicious drinks. But I will give you the recipe for a single. Just know that you're going to see me pour more than I'm telling you. So we're going to start off with a teaspoon or 5 milliliters of the simple syrup, and again I'm using the Demerara syrup. So 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters, and I am of course doubling it.
Now, how much would it change the drink if they used regular simple syrup?
Not much at all. That's what you and I have been having. I just made this Demerara today.
Okay. So it still tastes good, guys. Don't worry.
Absolutely. You'll have to tell me what you think of it with this. So I'm pouring that here on the ice. Next, I'm going to do the teaspoon of cherry juice. I actually made a mistake. I should have 30 milliliters of the simple syrup. Not 10. Now we're going to go with lemon juice. I need to go back to the refrigerator.
Wait, is that it?
Yes. They call this a sour because, of course, it has lemon juice in it. So anytime you have a drink with a sour, whiskey sour, amaretto sour, its base is going to be lemon juice. So 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of lemon juice. Peach schnapps. We're going to go 20 milliliters of peach schnapps. A nice peach smell. 20 milliliters of the pureed peaches. And doing that over the sink because I don't want to get in trouble. So let's see, I've got the schnapps, the cherry juice, the simple syrup, the peaches. What could I possibly be missing?
What could you be missing?
What could I be missing?
The most important piece of the puzzle.
Jack.
Jack. It's not a party without Jack.
Indeed, and this, of course, this is not any Jack. This is the Jack Daniel's
Jack.
Single Barrel Select.
Ooh.
I asked someone at a liquor store at a show, I said, what's the difference between single barrel and just regular? And he made a long explanation, but then he just winked and said, there really ain't no difference.
It's funny.
So 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of this. Now, the Peabody recipe actually calls for you to flash blend this. And a flash blender is, you ever seen them make a malt? You know, with that long...
Oh, uh-huh.
That's a flash blender.
Okay.
Obviously, we don't have one, so I'm just going to shake it because we've got spirits and the fruit juice. I'm not going to stir it. We're going to give it a nice 20-30 second shake. Feel this tumbler get nice and cold, and then we'll be ready to pour. I think we're ready to go here. Some for Macy, some for Mikey, some for Macy, some for Mikey. And of course, what's a cocktail without garnish?
A garnish.
Well, not a cocktail, so we're going to garnish it
Gunny.
with a couple of these maraschino cherries. And here we have it.
Okay, shall we try it?
The Peabody Peach Sour.
Cheers.
L'chaim.
Mikey likey.
Mikey lovey.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you guys next week.